Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking Transformers, but something a little bit different because we're talking about the Bumblebee spin-off, which is due for release in 2018, and this will be the first Transformers film without Michael Bay as director. So this is a big deal because many like Michael Bay's vision and many don't. And this film feels like it will bring Transformers fans together to see a new take on a Transformers movie under a new director. And that director is Travis Knight. So with that being the case, I got thinking about the Decepticon role in this film. And we know that Haley Steinfeld is going to be the lead cast member from a human aspect. So Bumblebee, I would expect, could be her protector. Now, I don't know if Travis Knight is going to go back and continue on the story as such of what was developed in Transformers The Last Knight, where Bumblebee was around in wartime. It felt like that they introduced that just for the purpose to tie up that you could use Bumblebee in a historical movie. Whether or not he's going to explain how Bumblebee went from being a wartime Autobot to a protector-like Autobot for the humans, I don't know. It would be nice, but we know we haven't seen those sort of things in the past. But with a new director, there's always that opportunity. With the fact that this film's going to be a smaller budget, it's not going to be the big bang that Michael Bay produces. It could allow for character development not just of Bumblebee, but of a Decepticon. And I think it would make sense to use a Decepticon that we have seen in the current films, and a Decepticon that has a tie to Bumblebee for the first movie. Because you have to think that if they're going to make spin-offs, we've seen like with Marvel, you have Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, they could have Bumblebee 1 and then Bumblebee 2. And Bumblebee could do with his nemesis as such, his arch rival, his Megatron, which is to Optimus Prime. And I think that they could do that with Barricade, because it's always felt like to me that there's been a story to be told between Barricade and Bumblebee. In Transformers 1, it was fantastic to watch Barricade be introduced, and the way he tracked Sam Witwicky trying to obtain the information about the Allspark and questioning him, are you Ladies Man 217? No one can forget that. And it felt like from that moment and the battle that they had in the scrapyard, it felt like that there was some sort of rivalry there. And it almost felt like Megatron had sent Barricade specifically because he doesn't get on with Bumblebee. And looking then forward into Transformers The Last Knight, Michael Bay reignited that feud between the two. And albeit that we didn't get to see, I think, what we wanted, which was a straight out fist fight between Bumblebee and Barricade, it kind of teased that again, these two have a relationship and a story that has gone on previous from these films. So why not in the Travis Knight portrayal make Barricade the main villain and elaborate on that? Imagine the dialogue between the two, the first time they interact, and they almost tell that story as to why they don't get on. I think it's a good and an awesome way to build a relationship where the fans can understand not just a connection with Bumblebee, but how these films have come together in the future. And if you're building a Transformers cinematic universe, surely that is something that you want to do. So I want to get your views and opinions on this because it's something I've been thinking about. Yes, it would be very cool to see a new Decepticon, but when you have someone like Barricade, who I think many have liked in the Transformers franchise from what we've seen so far, but just felt really he's been a bit part player. To give him the opportunity of almost having his own movie as the main villain to side with Bumblebee, it just makes sense. And I just kind of want to see that story be told, the Bumblebee versus Barricade story. And yes, I will understand those out there who will say, no, this needs to be completely different. But it would be, even with Barricade, because he's not going to look the same. This is based in the film, apparently is based in 1985. So there's no way he's going to look as flashy as he does in the current Transformers films, nor is Bumblebee for that matter. They're both going to look very different. Their transformations will be very different. So I just think this works. I just can see it. And I think it needs a different director to tell that story on a smaller scale, because I think less is more. And I think the fact that if you're telling the story about Bumblebee, you can also build how him and Barricade have never got along. So get involved, it's exciting because it's all speculation and I want to get your views and opinions on it. Let me know if you'd like to see Barricade as the main villain for the Bumblebee movie, and as well, let me know how you'd introduce Barricade. How did it all start? Because that's exactly what the story that could be told. How it all started between Bumblebee and Barricade. All that's left to be said is please rate, comment and subscribe. And I gotta say, I absolutely love your interaction. Some of the comments on my previous Transformers videos have been awesome. All that's left to be said is this is Delzinski signing out.